everything changes in gaming, and you don't have to look very far back in the past to see exactly what I mean. Let's go back to the PlayStation 2 era. The PlayStation 2 is the best-selling console of all time. Over 150 million units sold. This is a fantastic number. Yet again, Sony failed with the PlayStation 3 in overall terms of surpassing that and keeping their crown as winners of the previous console generation. Not only did they end up losing the next console generation, but they lost an incredible amount of market share, particularly in North America, to the Xbox 360. Now, the Xbox 360, of course, launched a year ahead of the PlayStation 3, which didn't help matters, and the PlayStation 3 was priced very, very unaffordably at $599. Of course, things didn't help when they would say ridiculous things like get a second job to pay for it, and then they kind of made fun of Nintendo for gimmicks, and then their own things were kind of gimmicky later on. Now, they recovered from that and ended up second place, but even though they ended up in second place, it was at a staggering cost, billions of dollars. And, you know, the thing that I find to be very intriguing is how fast kind of people forget about, you know, one thing and then, you know, move on to the next. It's basically a situation where it's what have you done for me lately? And what I mean by that is, look at Xbox. Like, Xbox 360 was phenomenal. That might have been the peak of gaming, in my opinion, because things were so good. And now it's like, even though there's technically the same amount or maybe even more gamers, there seem to be less playing the game. So what I mean by that is, Microsoft used to do a thing called a blog, sort of what the Xbox Wire is, where they'd announce how many people were playing like Halo 3 or Gears of War, or you know what I mean? And it was like at various times over 1 million concurrently playing Halo 3. And now it's like people kind of slap their fins together if you get like 30,000 or 50,000 people playing a game. They're like, oh my god, that's so incredible. And I'm like, you know, were these people not around for the Xbox 360? You know, it's funny to me. Now, the more interesting part about this is the fact that, you know, things will always continue to evolve and change. And, you know, when it comes to Microsoft, they used to have a deal with Activision with Call of Duty. And, you know, listen, Activision's in a heap of trouble right now, no doubt about it. I want to get into this problem for Sony right now, but let's go ahead and get started. What's up, everybody? It's me, Crapgamer, with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. Slap that like button for me, Crap Gaming, with another video. I like it when y'all slap that like button. Y'all don't be no crack babies now. Come on, we got to slap that like button. So anyway, again, the things that's going to continue to change is Microsoft is in a position where they're looked at as media darlings right now. And if you know, Microsoft reminds me of the person that has like, you know, big money, right? Like when maybe you guys were in like high school and you had people running for like student council president and all that kind of stuff. There was always that one person who was kind of snobby, whose parents had like a bunch of money and they give their kids everything and they're paid for everything when they, you know, they give away free stuff. Not unlike our current like elections and stuff. You promise everybody free this, that, and the other thing, and people vote for you. But back in the day in schools, you know, people that had money would obviously have a little bit of an advantage because they would buy free stuff and give it away. Hey, vote for this, vote for that, you know. And if you were just a schlub, you obviously didn't have much to kind of counteroffer that. So that's sort of how I look at Microsoft. They basically have a ton of money and offer people free games through Game Pass, right? And don't kid yourself, they're pretty much free right now. Like literally, I have Game Pass. It'll be equated to about 4 years for $1, right? I mean, if that's not, like, honestly, they're not making anything off of this stuff. They're not making anything off me, and probably most people. So with that being said, when it comes to these third-party relationships, it's even more important than ever. It's way more important than ever. You know, you want these things. Look at Microsoft, right? In previous years, they had, you know, they would have a relationship with third party, and they would pick the wrong ones. And then, you know, because the Microsoft is a media darlings, because they, you know, do the Game Pass stuff and all that kind of stuff, like it's been more apparent that the media is quicker to jump on Sony for anything negative. So what's that negativity going to come about when, you know, you have all these lawsuits against Activision? Again, for me personally, it's, you know, I don't believe these are criminal charges. These are other types of things, but innocent until proven guilty. That's the way I always that's the way I always kind of look at things anyway. But we'll see, and if it is true, then hopefully the victims get what they deserve, and the people that did the wrongdoing get what they deserve. But that's neither here nor there for this topic of conversation. What I wanted to talk about was basically it paints Sony in a bad light to still have kind of ties with Call of Duty, even though it's probably still, obviously still the biggest game in the world. Listen, the news that broke didn't stop it from being the #1 played game on Xbox Live or PSN. Let's just be real. Like, Warzone is huge. Call of Duty continues to be huge. We continue to see, these games just absolutely break numbers and records and things like that. A lot of people talk about boycotts. I'm not sure that boycotts ever actually work. But at the same time, we can see that, obviously there is an affected group. In fact, you know what? A lot of people, probably the average Call of Duty person, doesn't even know that there's anything going on, right? Like, they're not on the internet or, on social media and gaming sites and stuff like that. As far as I could tell, this hasn't hit mainstream news, at least. I don't really watch a ton of news, but a little bit that I have watched is all still trying to fearmonger people into taking a vaccine or wearing a mask or, whatever, give up your life savings for a non-FDA approved thing. But that's neither here nor there as well. Basically, this hasn't really made a ton of big news outlets, so it's not really going to affect them in the way that a lot of people probably assume. Like the next Call of Duty, if it should release this year, there's rumors that they're running behind or whatever, but there's also rumors that they're going to release this year's Call of Duty packed in with Modern Warfare 3 remastered. So if that were to happen, there's a lot of love for that game. It's going to shoot to #1. Like, this news that has not stopped anything, but there is that public perception, right? You don't want to have that public perception, and Sony, I'm pretty sure, doesn't want to have that bad guy public perception. Listen, EA last generation, absolutely horrid reputation, right? Like, worst company. I think they won that a couple times, worst company in America or something like that. I don't think they're the worst company in America, but clearly they have certain expectations and aspirations to actually be able to kind of go out there and do this. You know what I mean? To be able to go out there and kind of say, okay, well, if you look at how we're kind of accomplishing these things, and we're going out there and we're kind of saying, hey, let's go ahead and cut ties with Activision, because that's going to be a bad look for us. Like, Sony, in my opinion, doesn't need any bad looks right now, because the media is already looking for any kind of reason to jump on PlayStation. And we've seen this time and time again, and it's not because PlayStation's bad. It's because PlayStation isn't, giving them a bunch of free crap. And unfortunately, that's going to be a bad situation for a lot of people, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see our first articles asking, is Sony going to cut ties with Call of Duty? Listen, I almost doubt that they do, because they probably have already paid up a bunch of money to kind of get stuff, and it's probably not going to be a big deal at the end of the day, but I'm sure Microsoft is loving any kind of negativity spewed towards the spewed towards the situation with what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure Microsoft likes anything negative having to do with PlayStation, and I'm sure PlayStation hates it. But what can they do? Should they drop Call of Duty, or should they not? Like, I think that's a big question going forward, and who knows when we might have the answer. But I would like your guys' thoughts and opinions on that. Let me know what you think. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe. Remember, I really count on those likes. So just like the videos, I would appreciate it. Keep cranking them out. Thanks for watching. Fact them up. Crapgamer out.